And here we go, guys. The topic of the week is Call of Duty. Should I buy it? And can I trust Activision to deliver on a good World War II shooter? Don't forget that if you want to participate, you can go over to standotv.com, click on Viewer Topics, and suggest a topic of the week for us to discuss here on the show. We'll do so the following week if we can pick one out of all of those suggestions. So thank you guys so much for those who do suggest the topics over there. Before we get into the meat of Call of Duty Should I Buy, for some of you kids that were babies when Call of Duty first came out, because I think the series actually hit store shelves for the first time in 2003, so many of you were too young to know. Let's talk about the original Call of Duty and the history of Call of Duty and why I don't think that I can trust them to make a proper World War II shooter today. And that is because Call of Duty, when it busted onto the scene in 2003, it was released on PC, later expanded to the consoles, and it revolutionized the first-person shooter genre. It was as big as a revolution as Doom was, or as Quake was, or all these other first-person, like the Medal of Honor, the invasion of Normandy, and things being realized through video game gameplay. So it was a big revolution in first-person shooters, and it was such a huge hit. Got Game of the Year from many people, and it prompted for an immediate sequel that came out in 2005, Call of Duty 2, with several expansions coming to the first game and to the second game. And then that was when the annualized versions of Call of Duty started coming. Call of Duty 3 released in 2006, and then Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare releasing in 2007. The first game that came out in 2003 actually ran on id Tech, the id Tech engine, the same engine that was built to run Doom at the time. And it was like that for the first 3 games. Then we got to Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, which was another stepping stone, another revolution, because here's what this game did, right? This game didn't just revolutionize the single player campaign, sort of like cinematic, atmospheric, big, huge set pieces. It also, because multiplayer was more accessible than ever before, revolutionized and set the ground for what multiplayer first-person shooting should feel like. Matter of fact, it was so influential that there were several games going out of their way to make their first-person shooters feel more like Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, with perks and kill streaks and upgrades to weapons and a constant sense of progression throughout the multiplayer. It was well thought out at the time and was a masterpiece. This is also the first time that we saw the Infinity Ward engine, and that is important. Those elements are important because guess what? The next year we got World at War, used the Infinity Ward and the same kill streak system, perk system. Matter of fact, every game to this date in the Call of Duty franchise since Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare is still using the same Infinity Ward engine and the same perks and progression system. It is simply copy and paste the entire time. And in the recent few entries, including Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, and Infinite Warfare, we had jetpacks and futuristic warfare injected into the mix. No longer is it simply a boots-on-the-ground experience, but now it's more of a sci-fi shooter. This is very frustrating because Call of Duty used to set the trends. They used to be the trendsetter, and now Call of Duty is more like the person that follows the leader. Big, huge example is they're wanting to go back to World War II. Well, that's probably because everybody's been asking for it for a very long time, and it took Battlefield to actually go back first before and take the risk and gamble before Call of Duty would do it, because heaven forbid we tarnish the franchise. And that's the problem, guys. The Call of Duty 4 Not so much. Call of Duty 4 was the first DLC expansion that I've ever seen on a video game with the map pack, the variety map pack, and it was only $10, no big deal. But by the time we got to Modern Warfare 2, we're talking about season pass culture, day one pre-order culture, and all this stuff happening for the first time. And now it's blown up so much to microtransactions and season passes and day one pre-order bonus culture. I mean, how many ways can Call of Duty drag money? How many ways can Activision drag money out of you and just milk the customer dry? And I don't trust them to make a World War II game without them trying to figure out how to drag more money out of the consumers. Because a big example of this was last year when they released Infinite Warfare, the gold edition or whatever, that had Modern Warfare remastered behind a paywall. You couldn't buy Modern Warfare Remastered, the game that made them so famous, without buying their newest installment of the game. And that's very frustrating and very anti-consumer. And I would expect, since Infinite Warfare didn't sell very well, that we continue to see this trend of trying to get more money from the gamers themselves. And I don't think that their business practices are going to get any better. They're just going to try to double down, probably, on microtransactions. They're going to try to double down on season pass. They're going to try to double down on how many expansions they can get you to buy. And that's one of the reasons that I can't trust them with this World War II engine. And I don't think with annual installments that they've had enough time, even though it's Sledgehammer developing this game and not Infinity Ward, I don't think there has been enough time to do it properly. I bet this game is still running on the Infinity Ward engine that is just simply the same engine that we have seen time and time again. Long story short, guys, will I buy Call of Duty World War II this year? Not right away. No, I will not. I will wait for someone else to review that game. And it's going to take someone who used to love Call of Duty, that doesn't love Call of Duty anymore, that feels the same way about me, to see their review before I react. Like if it can turn the hardcore skeptic, I might try it. But there's got to be a skeptic out there willing enough to try it. Anyway, you guys may agree, you may completely disagree. I'm not fanboying out. I'm just saying, and I'm not trying to get fanboys pissed off or mad at me. I'm just saying that Call of Duty hasn't been for me for a long time. The last Call of Duty that I played was Black Ops 1. And I was really hoping for Call of Duty to come around with something new when Black Ops 1 came out. And it wasn't. It was simply what Modern Warfare 2 was, World at War was, and what Modern Warfare was. So I bought the same game 4 times in a row stupidly. There are more people who bought that game, the same game, way more many times than me. I'm just putting that out there. And when I wanted to jump back in, and say, oh, I can play the classic Modern Warfare. I do love me some Call of Duty. I did love that game. I would love to give it another go, but I can't, because I'm not willing to buy Infinite Warfare. But like I said, guys, whatever you guys want to talk about, just put it down there in the comments below. Try not to be too mean about it. Try to get along down there, you know. Just have a healthy debate down in the comment section. Don't like, it's Call of Duty or die. Just saying. Anyway, I'm coming up next. Retrospective on Crystalis. Hey guys, it's going to do it for me on today's episode, or on this week's episode of the Game Report. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe on all of our videos. Matter of fact, if you watch these piecemeal, go back and give those videos a thumbs up. And if you watch this one, of course, in its entirety, give it a thumbs up as well. Trying to upvote these videos to the top so that we get noticed and we can bring a bigger audience to our little corner of the internet. Until next time, guys, remember that I love your face, and we'll catch you next time. Have a good one.